What's up guys, Brian Grant here of ContestChampion.com. Today I just wanted to go over some Quake basics with all of you, or as I like to call them, Quakesics. Oh my god, that was so bad. Please do not unsubscribe. Let's just move past it. I don't really have much time here. So, what separates Quake from other champions? Well, it's her charging heavy ability attack. So, normally when you're using a champion and you use a heavy attack, or you try to use a heavy attack, what happens is you're standing in the opponent's face, they're blocking, right? You go to pull back on your heavy attack, and they just slap you in your face before you can actually launch your heavy attack at them, right? Or if you have some distance on the opponent, you're thinking, oh, I'll charge the heavy attack, and as soon as they charge into me, I'll launch the heavy, and what actually happens is they just wait for you to whiff your heavy, and then they charge at you and beat the crap out of you. So it's completely different with Quake, and that's what makes Quake such a unique champion. While you're charging her heavy attack, you're actually doing damage and applying an Aftershock debuff on the opponent. You're also not at risk of getting charged at or smacked in the face while charging this for two reasons. Number one, you never actually have to throw your heavy attack. You can charge it all day if you want. So if you're facing one of those opponents that has a very defensive AI, especially like a Mordo or something like that, you can charge that heavy attack all day, man. It doesn't matter. Eventually they're going to charge at you, but the longer they wait to charge at you, the better. And when they charge at you, this is even better, guys. When they actually charge at you, their first attack is going to whiff. Their first attack, you're going to completely evade it. Now, it's only the first attack, so you have to be a little bit quick on your toes. After you evade that first attack, you have to swipe back or block or do something. I do recommend swiping back. I think that's the best strategy. Swipe back, start charging up the heavy attack again, or swipe back, go for an intercept, or even block and wait out one of their heavy attacks, start attacking again, something like that. It's actually what makes Quake so difficult to play is learning the right moments to use this Quake style. Or to use like a regular fighting style, because if you do back up and charge up your heavies too much, then eventually you're going to get stuck up against the corner, and yeah, you're going to end up eating a lot of damage that way. Now, Quake's signature ability does give her increased block proficiency, so at those times where you are in the corner, you are going to be taking less damage than other champions, but it's nowhere near as powerful as something like a Captain America with all that perfect block chance that the captains have built into their toolkit. So you are going to be taking a lot of damage that way. Now, let's talk more about Aftershock, because this gets a little bit confusing as well on what Aftershock actually does. So, what Aftershock actually does, you're stacking these debuffs on the opponent, these Aftershock debuffs, and when they expire, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage, more damage for each Aftershock you have on the opponent. And you're also going to be stunning the opponent if you have enough of these Aftershocks on them. Now, technically, you can stun the opponent with just one Aftershock, but it's a very low chance. And if you have 9 or 10 of these, then you're going to be stunning them every single time. I'm actually not sure whether it's 9 or 10 that you need to guarantee the stun. It's a little bit confusing with the wordage here, but in any case, if you get to 10, then you're for sure going to be stunning them, as long as they're not immune to stun. If you're fighting a stun immune opponent in Alliance War or something like that, then Quake may not be your best option, or you may have to change up your play style a little bit. She's still good, but you can't fully utilize like the Quake style of play. So when these Aftershock debuffs tick down, you're going to be applying a stun, and while they're stunned, like the stun duration is also increased by the amount of Aftershock debuffs you had on them. So while they're stunned, if you stun them with a high amount of Aftershock, you can just start charging up again. You can start charging up your heavy, and as soon as the stun is about to expire, unleash your heavy. It's not going to do any kind of increased damage, but it'll still do decent damage since it's a heavy attack, right? And you've been applying this debuff on the opponent this whole time while they're stunned. And now you only need a few more of these debuffs to guarantee another stun, and kind of rinse and repeat the same process over and over until the enemy drops dead. So it's actually a really good strategy to use something like that, right? It's a totally fun way to play the game. One of my favorite champions by far is Quake. So Aftershock actually does a little bit more than that though, guys. So if you have 4 or more of these Aftershock debuffs on the opponent, you're going to inflict Concussion. And Concussion does two things. First off, it's going to completely eliminate all ability accuracy, and this lasts for 5 seconds. So this is stuff like Spider-Man's Evade, or Nightcrawler's Evade, or the regeneration that triggers when you get Iron Man to 15%. That stuff is going to be completely eliminated while they have this Concussion debuff. And it's only 5 seconds. But you can kind of control it, because you can see the debuff timer ticking down on Aftershock, so you know when they're going to get this concussion. And this works even if the opponent is immune to stun. This is not a stun. This is separate from the stun. This is just a concussion debuff. So you can still use this against all opponents, and getting 4 Aftershock debuffs on the opponent is not that difficult. It becomes difficult when you're trying to get like 10 or 11 or 12 or all the way up to like 15 in some cases, right? It becomes a little bit difficult then, but just getting 4 on the opponent is not that big of a deal, and you can do it without finding yourself getting trapped in the corner. Unlike the other strategy there. The other thing that Concussion does is it makes you evade all basic attacks of the opponent. Every single basic attack, they're going to be whiffing. Now you have to be careful about this though. It doesn't make you, it doesn't make you immune to all damage. It's just the basic attacks that you're going to be evading. They can still fire off a special attack and annihilate you. So be careful about that. Be very careful about that. A lot of things to pay attention to when you're playing a champion like Quake. You have to be watching their debuffs. You have to be watching their power meter. You have to be watching all of these things. So it is going to take some time, but just have fun with it is my recommendation. Now technically while you're charging your heavy attack, you're also inflicting concussion on the opponent, but it's a little bit harder to see because, well, while you're charging, you're not going to be trying to punch Spider-Man in the face, so you're not going to see those evades anyway. But if it is a case where, charging up your heavy is doing enough damage that's going to drop Iron Man below that 15% threshold, he's not going to trigger that heal. So it can be used very skillfully in a case like that as well. Now when it comes to her special attacks, the special attacks actually apply Aftershocks. So you can stack up Aftershocks. Personally, I actually really enjoy her special attack 1. I enjoy your special attack 1 because it gives you some distance on the opponent and allows you to keep charging up your heavy to apply more of these Aftershocks. Plus, 2 Aftershocks just for 1 bar of special is actually pretty decent. So I actually like that a lot. Her special attack 2 applies 3 Aftershocks and it will also inflict concussion. So you can actually keep a longer uptime of concussion on the opponent. It's really good when you're trying to finish off opponents like Iron Man, who are going to be dropping below that 15% threshold very shortly, and you can launch your level 2 special at them, clobber them in the face, and then proceed to finish them off without them healing up. So that's really cool. And then her special 3 attack will apply 6 Aftershocks and will also stun them, 100% stun chance for 3 seconds. So if you need a stun, level 3 is where it's at, man. So really cool stuff. Really dynamic character. Really interesting character to play. And again, one of the most fun characters, in my opinion, to play. And it's a character that is going to take some practice. It's going to take some time to learn how to play this character. But, the more you play with her, the more comfortable you'll get, and the more you'll learn to love her. My favorite fight to do with Quake has to be taking her up against Magic. Magic is such an annoying champion where every time you give her a bar of power, she's going to go into a limbo state, and in this limbo state she's going to be doing such a ridiculous amount of unavoidable damage to your champion. And on top of this, while this is going on, you can't really fight Magic because she's just going to heal back up all of that damage anyway, right? And there are a few counters to this, I know, but when it comes to using Quake, it's so amazing. You're not actually giving Magic power in most cases. What's going on is you're just charging your heavy attack from a distance. And while this is going on, you're inflicting damage, but you're not giving Magic any power. And even when she charges at you and you evade backwards, it's not triggering the dexterity buff, which means she's not gaining power from Mystic Dispersion. So you're limiting her power gain that way as well. On top of this, guys, when you put that concussion debuff on her, it's lowering her ability accuracy, which means when she does gain a bar of power, it's going to eliminate that chance for her to actually go into that limbo state. So as long as you play it right and you attack her when she has that concussion going on, she's not going to gain limbo. You're going to be able to basically walk right over Magic. Now, it does take some practice. Again, you don't want to get stuck against the wall, but other than that, you should have a pretty fun time fighting Magics. And if you want some more footage of how to use Quake and some real-world examples, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I upload all of my Alliance War footage, or most of it at least, even the times where I do poorly, which is often. But I use Quake almost every time now, so yeah, you can definitely check out some more Quake footage if you hit that subscribe button. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little bit of a guide on how to use Quake. Hopefully you guys are doing well in the arena that's going on currently to get the champion, and I will see you guys in the next video or late night live stream. Take care, guys.